Yep, we're good.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Thanks for coming this morning. We are here, as you know, to talk about the Alexander Street closure that will be happening in November. But before we start, I just want to introduce everyone that's here today. And I think the way we'll do it is we'll have everybody speak, and then we'll answer all your questions, any questions you have at the end. So for those of you who don't know me, Nick Sutter, Chief of the Princeton Police Department. We're here with Mayor Liz Lempert. Paul Ominski, representing the Department of Public Safety, Princeton University. Deanna Stockton, our municipal engineer. Bob Gregory, Officer of Emergency Management. Kristen Applegate, representing Princeton University. And we also have Cheryl Kasternak from the Greater Mercer TMA. Lieutenant Chris Tash, Captain Chris Morgan from Princeton PD, and Lieutenant Jeff Maurer. So as you know, the bridge will be closing on November 6th. The expected closure is going to be for 135 days. I think that's probably, from what we're understanding, a pretty aggressive timeline. So I think, to be safe from our standpoint, we're expecting it to be a little bit longer. Hopefully it's right on, and that'll be the extent of it. And as you know, the closure is due to bridge replacement projects being completed by the New Jersey Department of Transportation and the Mercer County Department of Transportation and Infrastructure. As we put out in our press release earlier, which I can get back out to you if you didn't receive it yet, the detour route that's being given is the utilization of Faculty Road, which is a private university roadway, and Washington Road, Route 571. What we can tell you is that roads are going to be very congested, definitely in Princeton and throughout the Mercer County and probably some of the Middlesex County area with regard to Plainsboro Township. So we are encouraging our residents, visitors, and our businesses to consider different travel routes. We're asking that everybody be individually proactive, look for different ways, whether it be times, whether it be teleconferencing. We'll talk more about this as we go forward. Working from home, flex hours, things that we can do to do our part to reduce the congestion. But most importantly, we want everybody to understand that there are going to be delays. I'm going to talk a little bit about what the police department's going to be doing in response, but I think the thing that we can't stress enough is that during the rush hours, especially in the early stage of this project, there's going to be delays. So just as recently as this morning, department representatives from Princeton Police, from our emergency management, Princeton First Aid, Princeton University, Princeton Fire, and West Windsor Police met to discuss how we're going to coordinate our efforts in this matter. So from our police department perspective, we'll be upstaffing in dispatch to take the increased amount of calls we're expecting. We're also going to be increasing the number of officers that we have on during rush hour to respond to not only emergencies but ways of dealing with traffic. The thing I want to make clear is that when it comes to volume, it's going to be tough. There's going to be limited things that we can do, but we're going to be doing everything that we can from a coordination way of doing things, that we're working together and everybody's going to be putting out and sharing the same information. So with that, we'll be having a operations center located within our police department, and we will have, as I said, our dispatch center, representatives from our department, representatives from Princeton University Department of Public Safety, representatives from the municipality of Princeton and Princeton University, West Windsor, and our other municipal departments. So what we'll be doing is taking some call overflow in here, and we'll be putting out up-to-date information. Most of our information will be fed through the social media sites that we have, our website, and also through Access Princeton. We'll get into that more, and our municipal website. So we would ask that you follow us on Nixle. You can sign up right on our website. We would ask that you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We're coordinating to the best of our efforts the messaging that comes out between all the different entities that are involved, But the thing that we need to remember is this is going to affect each town a little bit differently. So I would encourage people that are coming from outside of Princeton to stay in contact with their local social media outlets, their local police departments and municipalities as well. We are trying to get as much information to our partners regarding Princeton, but we got to remember it's a larger issue than just Princeton. The other thing I want to talk about is just things, patience. I'll put it that way. I put this on our press release. When these things, especially in the early stages, tend to affect the motoring public, tensions rise. People get scared, frustrated, angry. So we put out some information. We just need everybody to understand that there's going to be delays. Avoid aggressive driving. Aggressive driving is not going to help the situation. The only thing that's going to be able to help is patience. If there's traffic accidents, we would ask that they be reported through 911, but only that emergencies be reported to 911. We're asking that all emergencies in Princeton be reported through our non-emergency line, 609-921-2100. And also you can reach us through Facebook and through our website. But for immediate assistance, the best way, if you needed an officer and there's a problem, is through either if it's an emergency 911 or if it's a traffic-related thing that needs immediate assistance through a non-emergency number. We will get the Facebook, we will get the other electronic messages, but it's quicker to call us. And with that, I'll be able to answer some questions when it's all done, but I'd like to introduce Mayor Liz Lempert.
Thanks, Chief. I just wanted to reiterate a couple points that the Chief said. So this is a state and county project, but Princeton's actively working to do everything we can to prepare and put in place plans that are going to help mitigate the impact of the closure. And I also just wanted to say the obvious, which is that this is a really vital project to happen. These two bridges are in desperate need of getting replaced, and we don't want to have infrastructure where we're at risk of a catastrophic event. And we saw with the emergency closure last year that when the bridge has to get closed and we're not able to prepare, it creates a very difficult situation. And the good thing about, if there is a good thing about this, is that we do have time to prepare, and we've been working with our partners to do everything we can to get ready. I do want to thank just our partners and the collaboration that has come forward because of this planning for this event, both Princeton University, Princeton's merchant community, the public schools, Greater Mercer TMA. Everyone has really been stepping up to meet this challenge, and I'm really grateful for the creative thinking and the sense of collaboration. And if there is a silver lining in what is inevitably going to be a challenging several months, it's that the planning for this event has strengthened the ties among these partners, and I think we're going to be in a stronger place at the end of this because a lot of the activities that have been going on in the months leading up to the closure. We've also been in close communication with obviously the county and the DOT, and also New Jersey Transit in advance of this project. And we are encouraging Princeton commuters that take the Northeast Corridor trains to consider taking the Dinky if they haven't been. The Dinky is going to be operating at its normal schedule during construction and is likely going to be the fastest way to get between Princeton and West Windsor, especially during rush hour. And the residents who work in West Windsor along Alexander or at Carnegie Center may also want to consider taking the Dinky in conjunction with one of the Tiger Transit buses that run along those lines. And I just wanted to reiterate for those who don't know that Tiger Transit's the Princeton University bus system, but it's open and free to everybody. It'll be one of the resources that we're encouraging people to take advantage of during the closure. New Jersey Transit has established a dedicated backup set of equipment at its Morrisville train yard. Over the past many months, there's been closures of the Dinky because of mechanical issues, and New Jersey Transit has promised to have this backup set of trains in place to help with ensuring that does not happen, or if there are mechanical issues, they're able to get spare cars to the Dinky line so as not to cause significant delays and closures there. New Jersey Transit has also assured Princeton that they will not be pulling engineers from the Dinky line to fill in on other lines during the extent of the closure. We've also requested for there to be an extra train trip during the each hour during the morning commute hours and also during the evening commute hours. New Jersey Transit hasn't committed to that yet, but has said that their planners are still reviewing that request. The Princeton Council has also taken action to modify some of the restrictions in the Central Business District to help with traffic relief. The first is there was an ordinance that was introduced that will allow for temporarily earlier delivery trucks to come in and out of the Central Business District. So the ordinance was introduced at our last council meeting, and it's coming up for a public hearing on the 28th. All indications are that it'll be approved on the 28th, and there will also be an associated resolution to allow for businesses to get deliveries starting at 5 a.m. Instead of the normal 7 a.m. So we're hoping the trucks will come in, do the deliveries. That includes trash, come into the Central Business District early and leave early before the traffic builds up, so they're not part of the traffic. In addition, Council's approved a resolution for free parking after 6 p.m. Monday through Fridays. That's starting November 6th and lasting through the end of December. And we're hoping that will have a dual benefit. So one, it's a way to support our local businesses and restaurants during this closure. And also we're hoping that we have a lot of people who commute into Princeton, that those folks will consider staying in town. And there's great places to dine and to shop while they're waiting. And it's a great way to just sort of wait out the worst of the evening rush hour. And it will help hopefully smooth out that evening rush. There's, as the chief mentioned, there's resources to help get out information. If people want to check, the police will have on social media information. The municipality has a special website, page on our website at princetonnj.gov that will be updating with information for folks. Princeton University has a really great page that has information that's not just particular to the university community, but that's probably helpful more broadly. The Princeton Merchants Association has developed a toolkit aimed at businesses to help businesses with their own planning and with messaging. So we're encouraging Princeton businesses to check out that toolkit that's been prepared by the Princeton Merchants Association. And we're the Greater Mercer TMA, Cheryl's here. Greater Mercer TMA has also offered to help businesses with their planning for with alternative travel options, establishing flex time and carpooling. And Greater Mercer TMA is a great resource for businesses who are trying to get ahead of this and put in plans, help for their employees. The other suggestion we have for folks is to make use of all the travel apps that are out there. Even if you know how to get to where you're going, this is probably an opportunity where using Google Maps or Waze or Apple Maps or one of the other services can give you that live time information that will help you pick the best route. And again, just to pick up on what the chief says, we are asking people to be patient and to recognize the most important thing always is safety, and it's not worth rushing and getting into a bad situation. So we're hoping people will be safe, use tools that are out there on the website, and let us know if there's anything else we can be doing to help. I'll turn it over to Deanna.
Princeton has been working closely with our community partners to plan for this closure, and one of the things that we've been doing with Mercer County is looking at the other roadways that come in and out of Princeton and what we can do to make sure that there aren't closures due to tree fall or other impacts during storms while the Alexander is closed. So with that, our Public Works Department has been clearing trees on Quaker and Mercer. And as well, we've reached out to Mercer County to look at Elm and Rosedale as well. There will be some advanced utility work coming up next weekend that will require a closure of Alexander from Friday, October 25th at 8 o'clock p.m. until Sunday at 5 o'clock a.m. The closure may be more limited in time than Sunday at 5 a.m. If all of the work is completed, and that's work by New Jersey American Water as well as Princeton. Additionally, in our coordination with DOT, we've been working on establishing areas of signage to provide travel time information both in and out of Princeton as well as West Windsor. They have put together a plan with dynamic messaging boards that will be located on various roads such as 295, Mercer, Princeton Pike, as well as in Princeton near Alexander and in West Windsor near the Princeton Junction train station. These signs will provide live information as to travel times in and out of Princeton. We've also asked to have connection to that information, so if there are calls into Princeton PD, that we would have that same information that people are seeing on the signs. Additionally, DOT has adaptive signal technology on Route 1, which allows them to instantly or within a few minutes respond to changing congestion and speeds on the highway for both the side streets as well as Route 1. That technology is in place and it will be operational while Alexander is closed. And if there are any concerns about that, we can definitely reach out to our community partners at DOT and discuss any other changes that might need to take place. I think that's it.
So the two things I was just thinking of that I wanted to stress is from an emergency response standpoint. That was one of the things that we went over this morning. You know, we know that getting around is going to be tough for everyone. It's going to make it even tougher for emergency vehicles. So we have looked at, alternate routes as well as getting to different areas that we know we may need to respond to from both fire, first aid, and police. And we feel that we've adequately addressed that. We'll also be depending on each other with public safety, Princeton University, West Windsor, so that if there are traffic issues, we'll have mutual aid in effect. So I don't have many concerns there. I do want to stress as well, there will be lots of updates as we go through this, so please monitor all the things we've mentioned here today closely, and we'll continue to put updated information out as soon as we get it. We want to provide the biggest thing is for us to provide the information as quickly as we can when we get it in our hands. With that, we're here to answer any questions.
A lot of pedestrians have asked whether there'll be some sort of access at Alexander. Will joggers, will there be some sort of?
Sure. There will not be access to cross over on Alexander, but for the most part, the towpath will remain open, so they can still access it from Washington.
We don't have any questions online, so you guys are on that part.
Okay. Thanks
Great.
so much, everybody, and
Thank you.
we'll be in touch.